PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Headshot TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This broadcast is presented by the authority of the Motorsports Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the Motorsports Association is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the 2022 installment of Triple P. We're glad to welcome you back to another season of Triple P on YouTube as the chase for the Triple P titles begin. Welcome to the Blue Headshot TV's coverage of Triple P. We're hoping to see you each and every week of Triple P action on the Blue Headshot TV. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Newcastle Casino Chickasaw, Bob's Travel Stops, Subway, by the Oklahoman, Buffalo Wild Wings, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, and Sonic Drive-Ins. Now, in its sixth season, with the call of today's Triple P show in 2022 from Yukon, Oklahoma, the voice of Triple P, Daniel Boyles.
Welcome to the Sin City is so famous but tempers boiled edition of Triple P. After being away for a little bit and now getting back into a rhythm, we're getting ready to tell you what has happened in our PCSRA studios, and that will be exciting so far. Hi folks, Daniel Voles. Welcome back to Triple P. Sorry if I haven't been doing some episodes lately. I've been trying to get situation taken care of with myself as far as outside life, and hopefully I can get everything situated going forward, and we'll be alright. So, hang on. Before we get into the reason for before we get into today's show, want to let everybody know, from all of us here on Triple P, I want to send my deepest condolences to Jared Underhill, who lost a family member this past week. So, I just want to say for Jared, our condolences are with your family as far as that is concerned. A few other announcements. I haven't done so. I will have to miss the Rowdy podcast tomorrow because I have to work. I have to be at work at 5 o'clock, so unfortunately I will not be able to participate at the for that show, so I will just try to give you my picks ASAP when I get the chance. And, you know, we'll see how things go as far as that's concerned. And I've already told Triple P panelists this, but once this show is, after this show is done, I will, like I said, make my predictions for NASCAR, but everybody else's will do theirs on Wednesday or tomorrow, as some people is concerned. So, I just want to let you know, okay, notification, you can go away because you need to quit telling me about my damn controller. And yes. So, on Triple P today, we're going to first off recap the Las Vegas weekend, as I have to clear up some space. I do want to save, my three friends, as far as that's concerned. Let me do that real quickly. There you are. And now I gotta do Elmo. No, I want no, go. You stupid thing. Okay, yes, this is what I want. I'm trying to make another tenner, you derping hyena. There. That way you stop being a derping hyena. Hi, one person in the chat. We're going to get started with Triple P in just a second after I take care of something right here. And now I got to get Kermit. Hopefully everybody's doing well today as far as I'm concerned. I've been doing alright. It's just I've been just busy with shit and all that. So, yes. So, while I look for get my 3 friends to say hi, which is Elmo. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's begin Triple P recapping Las Vegas since we didn't have any global this weekend, but that's alright. Starting with the Xfinity Series race, I did watch the Xfinity race for any of you asking because that was my assignment. I told Corey that was my assignment. It was the first race of the round of 8 because last race at Charlotte we saw the departures of defending champion Daniel Hemrick, Ryan Sieg, Riley Herbst, and then I don't know who the other driver was. Oh, there you are. Okay. So, let us start with the Xfinity Series. I thought it was a average Vegas race. I was expecting a little bit more carnage. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, which was a bit of a shame. But it was an okay race, to say the least. And, okay, there's the results for Cup. We'll discuss about the Cup situation as you're being a drunken hippo. Anyway, so, Xfinity. Nothing happened in Stage 1. Ty Gibbs won Stage 1. Noah Gragson won Stage 2. Nothing really happened in that stage, which is not a bit surprising. The only caution was Brandon Jones got loose and spun off turn number 2, which was a half spin, but the officials had to warranted a yellow. Other than that, that's kind of it as far as that race is concerned. And when the checker flag waved, Josh Berry picked up his 3rd win of the season and punched his ticket into the championship 4. So the top 10 results for the Xfinity Series race were as follows. Josh Berry, the winner. Noah Gragson, 2nd. Justin Allgaier, 3rd. Ty Gibbs, 4th. Trevor Bayne in 5th. He's still in the battle for the owner's title. Austin Hill, 6th. Sam Mayer, 7th. Daniel Hemrick, who just recently got eliminated, in 8th. Brandon Jones, 9th. And Anthony Alfredo completed top 10. The rest of the A.J. Allmendinger finished 22nd, if you're wondering where he was. A couple of notables I want to say. Landon Castle Nick Sanchez got 12th. Haley Deegan in her debut, 13th. Good run for her. Jeremy Clements, who just recently got eliminated from the playoffs, 15th. He was also the other driver. It was Hemrick, Herbst, Clements, and I'm trying to think who that 4th driver was. Hang on, let me look at the points. I need to look at the points standings. Point standings. That's what I was looking for. It was Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements. They were the 4 that were recently eliminated from the playoffs after the Charlotte Roval. So, yeah, Ryan Sieg had a steering issue, and that's a tough break for him after he was recently eliminated from the playoffs. So, yeah. So, looking at the Xfinity Series points, going into this race with Josh Berry's win, he is now into the Final 4. As far as that is concerned, Gragson is 2nd, Ty Gibbs 3rd, Justin Allgaier 4th, and Austin Hill, excuse me, would be in 5th. And as that was not what I wanted, you stupid phone. that is not what I wanted either. Okay, here we go. Allmendinger is 6, currently still trying to make it in. Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, 8th. They are not too far away as far as the cut line is concerned. But there you go. So I thought Xfinity was pretty much wasn't a good race. I gave it a 6, if you ask me. However, going to the Cup Series race at Las Vegas, it was a different story. It was actually a wreck fest, if you ask me. First incident, Kyle Busch coming off turn 4. He was starting to lose handling of his car and just lost control. Spun in the infield grass, no damage to the car. That ended stage 1, which was won by Bubba Wallace. Then the most controversial incident happened on the second yellow. Kyle Larson got loose coming off turn 4, tried to save his car, accidentally put Bubba Wallace in the wall. Bubba Wallace then jerked the car to the left, hooked Kyle Larson into the wall, and took out playoff contender Christopher Bell. Bubba Wallace got out of his car. Both drivers are okay, but then Bubba Wallace decided to disrespect the NASCAR official and decided to go ahead and start shoving Larson about 5 or 6 times. And Larson didn't appreciate that. Then Bubba Wallace decided to hit the NASCAR official after he was told, you have to go to the infield care center because that is the rule. Anytime you're involved in an accident, you have to go to the infield care center. Well, at first, Bubba Wallace refused, but he was forced to go to the care center anyway. So, yeah, possible penalties are expected, and Bubba was not called to the hauler, which I was a little disappointed. On that restart, Chase Briscoe ran into the back of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just before the cars got up to speed. Stenhouse just did a little long slide, but didn't hurt the car, so he continued on. Rest of stage 2 was calm and clean. That was won by Ryan Blaney in the process. Then the 15 of J.J. Yaley cut a left rear tire down coming off turn 4, spun it down into the grass, but he did get going again. Ryan Blaney, after winning stage 2, got loose after making contact with the 24, cut a tire down and did some pretty significant damage to his car, which broke the suspension on it, which meant his day was done as well. Then Daniel Suarez spun off turn number 4, and then the 77 Landon Castle wrecked in 3 and 4 and had to retire out of the race due to a suspension failure, so that's a tough break for him. Then a late race restart ensued, and Joey Logano got his 3rd win of the season and punched his ticket into the Championship 4. So the top 10 results for the Cup Series: Joey Logano wins and advances to the Championship 4. Ross Chastain finishes 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd, Chase Briscoe 4th, Denny Hamlin 5th. 6th for Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr. 7th, Eric Jones 8th, A.J. Allmendinger 9th, and Austin Dillon complete the top 10. Good run for Noah Gragson. Of course, that team last week was recently eliminated with Alex Bowman, but it didn't matter anyway. Chase Elliott 21st, not the run he would have liked. William Byron 13th. Chase Elliott's going to be in recovery mode after his struggles, but at least he had some playoff points to fall back on. Ryan Blaney 28th, as I mentioned, and then of course Christopher Bell 34th. Bell, after getting some stage points in stage number 1, unfortunately got taken out, like I said, through no fault of his own. It was just because the 45 was just being a clownhead and just wrecked Kyle Larson for obvious reasons. So that's just my opinion on that. So NASCAR is reviewing that incident with on the Bubba Wallace Kyle Larson deal. And if I had to make a guess, everybody's been saying this on social media, and I also got into it on social media. You know, it's one thing to wreck a guy after you're having a frustrating season. It's another to wreck wreck a driver who not only is in the owner's title, which Kyle Larson, who just recently got eliminated from the playoffs, but his team's still in the owner points. But that's the point I'm trying to make. It's one thing to wreck a driver. It's another to wreck a driver who's not only going for the owner's title, but then you take out an innocent bystander in Christopher Bell, who absolutely had no business of being involved in that incident in the first place. I mean, I just don't know why the I mean, doing that at like 160 miles an hour, and they showed the telemetry on NBC on the broadcast yesterday, and that was kind of intentionally. And like I said, and I said this on Twitter yesterday, I hate it for Christopher Bell. I really do hate it for Christopher Bell, who got caught up in this. And now if Christopher Bell gets eliminated, I bet you he is not going to be a happy camper with Bubba Wallace. And I can tell you there's going to be some tempers flaring by the time we get to Phoenix or Martinsville if Bell doesn't have a good run at Homestead and has to be put into another must-win situation. So just my personal opinion on that situation. So NASCAR is, like I said, reviewing, the Bubba Wallace retaliation. Bubba Wallace not listening to a NASCAR official, which he shoved the official after shoving Kyle Larson, and then that little altercation with Kyle Larson, as I said, by walking down the track. That's why because the rule states you have to stay in your car, so a medical team is there to assist you. So that's another thing Bubba Wallace violated, is that he didn't stay in his car until the medical team arrived, walked down the track, which is a huge no-no. That's why this rule got put in place back in 2015. Decided to shove Larson, even though I understand he's frustrated, but you don't be hooking people in the right rear, especially when this car has had safety issues. Plus, you've had a bunch of meetings with NASCAR the last couple of weeks. And then shoving a NASCAR official, if that was in the NFL and the NBA, that is an automatic ejection. No questions asked. If that was in the NFL and NBA, Bubba Wallace would have been ejected. And I heard he was escorted out by security, so we will have to see what kind of punishments Bubba Wallace gets, because I have a very good feeling Bubba Wallace is not going to be racing at Homestead for that little incident he just did. So, actually, while that was talking about, Bubba Wallace just released this statement just now, since we were just discussing about this. Quote, "I want to apologize for my actions yesterday following the on-track incident with Kyle Larson, the number 5. My behavior does not align with the core values that are shared by 2311 Racing and our partners, who have played a crucial role in my credible journey to the top of this great sport. I want to apologize to NASCAR and the fans, along with Christopher Bell, JGR, and Toyota, for putting them in a situation in the playoffs that they do not deserve. I compete intense passion of times come frustration. Upon reflection, I should have represented our partners and core values better than I did by letting my frustration follow me outside the car. You live and learn, and I tend to learn from this." End quote. Like I said, NASCAR is definitely going to hammer the boom on the 23, or not 23, on Bubba Wallace, I should say, because like I said, you took out a driver who's battling for an owner title, and you also took out Christopher Bell, who could possibly, if he doesn't have a good run at Homestead, head to Martinsville in a must-win situation. So, yeah, so that is not a good thing, but like I said, we will just have to wait and see what's going to happen. So there's that statement from Bubba Wallace, but a lot of fans were not too happy about this. So I can't imagine NASCAR's going to let Bubba Wallace get away with this. I can't imagine that's going to happen. Which I can tell you, that is not going to happen. I can tell you that for sure. On to top story news. Saturday, Kurt Busch announced he will not be returning to the Cup Series on a full-time basis next year. He is also not going to be at Phoenix, which means his 2022 season is sadly coming to an end. He is, however, expected to continue to recover from his concussion he had in a qualifying accident at Pocono back in July. So we don't know what he will do. We don't know. I think he'll still be with 2311 Racing, but I do not know if it will be with a third car or if Kurt Busch is going to retire altogether, even though it'll be to be determined for 2024. But you know, it sucks for Kurt Busch having to sit out for the rest of the season, especially, you know, I mean, you look at his career. He's a Cup Series champion, #1. He's won the Daytona 500 before. You know, he's never won the Southern 500. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, and somebody, Austin K brought this up, and if you guys have any comments about what happened as far as the Bubba Wallace-Larson deal, tell me in the chat, and I'll do my best to read it. It's very nice to see Bubba Wallace apologizing and taking accountability, which that's true. It sure sounds like it was on purpose and not the steering claim. However, it doesn't change that a penalty is almost certainly coming. So, as much as Bubba Wallace admitted what he did was wrong, that's still not going to mean he's going to get away with it without some sort of punishment. So, either way, I still would have gotten my prediction right as far as the punishment is concerned. But anyway, continuing on. You know, I just think, you know, if I had to give Bubba Wallace a penalty, it would be docked 100 points, place him on probation for the rest of this year, and yada yada yada. So now he admitted what he did was wrong, but like I said, that's not going to mean he's going to get away scot-free. It's just my opinion. So, yeah, Alex Bowman is going to also be out the entire round of A as he's recovering from his concussion that he suffered at Texas. Noah Gragson will be in the 48 at Homestead and Martinsville. Don't know if Bowman will be back. Kyle Busch, the only suspension we can confirm is that Kyle Busch is that Ben Bayshore and 2 crew members will be suspended for 4 races for the tire that came off Kyle Busch's car under one of the cautions. But because we only have 3 Cup races left to go, the suspension will carry over to next season as far as that is concerned. Also, penalties we have not told you. Billy Venturini fined $1,500 suspended for 1 race, which will carry over into next season. Jesse Love fined $500 for his, and also a couple of crew members also fined $500 for their actions, which they caused a fight in the ARCA finale at Toledo a couple of weeks ago, which, in my personal opinion, that was crazy. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with, ARCA, but I'm glad something has finally, as far as that's concerned. So, at the end of it all, you got to make sure, you take responsibility and all that. And, something, I hate to see that happen, but you got to be mature enough, if you know what I mean. So, there you go. So, rumors that NASCAR will introduce a wet weather package for short track ovals. That is not official. Again, it's rumors, so do not say it's true. It is not true because it is rumors. So, yeah. And all that. Also, I should point this out. If you get ready to type a comment, I will update the description. That way you guys know the rules, because I don't want any inappropriate comments or anything negative about Bubba Wallace, because if you do, I could report you for that reason and that reason only. So, yeah. Pierre Gasly will go to Alpine next year for F1. I do wish him good luck over there. Hopefully he can have some better success than what he's having at AlphaTauri. And here's a little stat here. The winner of the first race of the round of 8, which Logano won, went on to win the Cup Series championship 3 of the last 6 seasons. So, yeah. And of course, that's something very important to remember, so, yeah. As I'm trying to see if we have any other news. Ty Gibbs crew chief fined $5,000 for one lug nut not properly installed. So there you go. And I believe that is about it as far as that is concerned. Lately, we've also had a couple of you blew it's lately in NASCAR, so yeah. Oh, Jared's trying to tell me something. You can probably go ahead. Jared. Oh, damn it. That reminds me. I need to. I put the entry list in there. Anyway, driver of the day, I'm going to give it, or driver of the weekend, I'm going to give it to Hailie Deegan after the. Here's what I'm going to reply to Black Flag Matters, aka Darian. While I appreciate he apologized. Okay, and I just tweeted that. So anyway, yes. Okay. Thank you, Jared, for sending me the your picks. I will read them in just a second. So, yeah. Do want to give you a bit of a schedule update. The Clash from the Monster Energy Series, I will move it to the Friday after the Oreo Cup Series season ends. Reason for that is I want to get, correction. The AutoZone Amateur Series race will be the Friday after the Oreo Cup Series season ends. So at least you'll get some racing. I think that is on the November holiday. Let me double check that to make sure I can confirm it with you all, because I can't. Let's see, November 18th. That is, yes, that is the week before the November holiday, so I will probably put the Amateur Series race on the November holiday and then go from there. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, hopefully you guys are looking forward to, at least on the November holiday, you got a race to watch, if you know what it means. So, yeah. So, looking forward to that. So, Haley Deegan is my driver of the weekend. My reject of the weekend, obviously, will go to Bubba Wallace. So. So. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. So. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and preview Circuit of the Americas. Also, I should mention the W Series Final 3 races were canceled due to funding issues. So that means we only have F1 this weekend at COTA. We also have Homestead Miami Speedway for all 3 series, but for 2 different reasons. It is the final elimination race for the Truck Series. It is the second race of the round of 8 for Xfinity and Cup, as far as that is concerned, as I'm waiting for stupid, 1 second, I need to go to Wi-Fi, so that way I can see the, what's going on there. So anyway, looking forward to Homestead. With the first race with this next-gen car, I could see it being the same way as we had if the race at Vegas was any indication. I do want to say that I do not want to see intentional wrecking at Homestead. Plus, it's been 600 days, or 600 plus days, in between last year's Cup race, which was earlier in the season, easy for me to say, and this week's Cup race. So that's like a little over 600 plus days in between races, which is actually the longest, to be quite honest with you all. And looks like I'm having some problems with Discord glitching, but hopefully we'll get that little issue addressed. Oh, nope, never mind, I got it pulled up. Okay. Let me ask him. Oh, Jared is going to send me his predictions in just a second, so, yeah. So anyway, looking forward to that. Of course, Truck Series, 4 drivers are going to be eliminated from the playoffs, and 3 drivers are going to join Ty Majeski into the Championship 4, which they will take their final off week next week when they go to Martinsville. So, looking forward to Homestead. As for F1, we return to COTA, now knowing Max Verstappen is a 2-time champion of F1. As far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned, as far as the Constructors is concerned, it could get wrapped up this weekend if Red Bull goes out and gets a 1-2, which that's now their next goal is. So, yeah. So, it's going to be a very interesting race, how this is going to go. And, you know, with these bigger tires, if it's anything like we saw in Miami, we could be in for a very good race. Alright, before we get to predictions, driver to win, driver stay away from, and dark horse, which, by the way, for the Truck Series predictions, you get to tell me the 4 drivers you think will not move on to the next round of the playoffs. Which, actually, if I can, let me actually look at the Truck Series playoff standings going into Homestead. There is a couple of drivers who come into this race basically needing a good run, or in some people's cases, facing a must-win situation. Which I need to actually look it up, as I hit the wrong button. Yeah. And then Austin K says, Bubba Wallace still put Kyle Larson at risk for a very serious injury when it's all said and done. Like I said, you know, he took out a couple of playoff contenders. I mean, very glad there's some responsibility, but it needs to be big. Yeah, I see it being a big penalty, if you ask me, as now my wife is on my phone being a drunken hyena. Alright, it is time for my predictions. I'm going to start with Formula 1. So, I'm going to put yours truly, because I'm just being space efficient. Alright. For my driver to win, I'm going Max Verstappen. Just making sure you all know that. My dark horse, I will go with Carlos Sainz. As somebody is online, which I don't know who that is, but I don't really care. And my driver to stay away from, for the life of me, as far as that is concerned, stay away from Nicholas Latifi. And now, I will need to try this again because my phone wants to be stupid. Okay, playoff grid. Okay, here is what the playoff grid. Or is it not? Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so the playoff standings for the Truck Series playoff grid. This is the playoff grid. Okay, so as I said, Ty Majeski's in the next round. Chandler Smith is 30 points above the cut line. Zane Smith 18. Ben Rhodes is +3 above the cut line. 3 points below the cut line are Christian Eckes, Stuart Friesen, John Hunter New Mexico is 5 points below. Grant Enfinger is now 29 below the cut line. Xfinity Series, with Josh Berry moving on to the next round, he's safe. Noah Gragson, 44 points above the cut line. Ty Gibbs, 25 above the cut line. Justin Allgaier, 15 above the cut line. Austin Hill, 15 points below the cut line. AJ Allmendinger, 16 below the cut line. 27 points below is Brandon Jones and Sam Mayer, 36 points below the cut line. And then for the Cup Series, as far as the cut line is concerned, with Logano winning, which doesn't matter, Chastain is 18 above the cut line. Chase Elliott 17 above. 6 above is Denny Hamlin. William Byron is 6 below. Okay. Hi, Cody. Is 6 below. Chase Briscoe is 9 points below. 11 points below is Ryan Blaney. And 23 points below the cut line is Christopher Bell. Like I said, if Bell has a bad run today, or a bad run this weekend, he will head into Martinsville, more than likely going to be in a must-win situation. So, yes. Shut up, laundry, or whatever the hell this went off. But anyway, now to my NASCAR picks. as I will go first, and like I said, Jared will go second and all that. For my driver to win, Homestead has been a crap fest as far as how this race will go. It should be a very interesting race, if you say the least. Let me go. Let me tell you who is on the entry list for the Truck Series, which is the Baptist Hell 200. You can watch that on FS1 at noon Eastern Time. Don't know who'll be in the 20. Max Gutierrez in the 22. My driver to win for the truck race, I am going to say this is going to be a difficult choice. I am going to say as I look, I need to make sure to pick a playoff driver, because if I pick a non-playoff driver, it's not looking good. For my driver to win, I'm taking Ben Rhodes. My driver I'm taking, who I regret to stay away from, Grant Enfinger. I'm going to pick him and stay away from. I just think, with him being in a must-win situation, I just don't feel like he's got the desire to pick. So, I'm picking him as driver to stay away from. Dark Horse. And by the way, Grant Enfinger is one of my 4 drivers who will be eliminated from the championship. Then my Dark Horse. John Hunter Nemechek. And then my driver's getting eliminated. Grant Enfinger's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to say, even though I'm going to say Christian Eckes is going to get eliminated. Number 3, Stuart Friesen. And my 4th and final driver who will be eliminated is going to be a shocker. Zane Smith will get eliminated. Which means my final 4, we can confirm it will be Ty Majeski. So my final 4 will be... let me make sure I'm doing... My final 4 will be John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, and Ben Rhodes. Those will be my final 4. Now to Xfinity. Okay, for my driver to win, Xfinity, Homestead is a track. Like I said, I talked about this with, that is not what I want, you darping hyena. Anyway, I'm actually going to start with the driver to stay away from first. My driver to stay away from... stay away from Sam Mayer. Not Sand. I said Sam, you derping hyena. My dark horse, Ty Gibbs. And I'm going Noah Gragson as my driver to win. Now for Cup. I'm going to steal Taylor's method in Cup. Oh boy. My driver I regret to stay away from. I am going to say... Who do I regret to stay away from? Oh, this is really gonna suck. Stay away. Stay away from Denny Hamlin. That's who I'm picking for driver to stay away from. I'm picking Ryan Blaney to have a bounce back performance. And now my winner. Blaney is my dark horse. And my driver to win. He came close to winning Vegas and locking himself in the Final Four. I'm going to go ahead with him, Ross Chastain, as the driver to win. And that, my friends, is my predictions of Triple P. Oh, I gotta tell Taylor. Taylor, go to figures jail. Oh, what Sean just posted in the chat, it was funny as hell. Oh, man, I love you guys so much. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming Triple P athletic events. This Friday, it's Elimination Day for the Oreo Cup Series, as we're definitely looking forward to this. And we'll have 4 drivers sadly be eliminated from the championship to determine our Elite 8 over in that series. So that will make things a bit more interesting, if you know what I mean. So, yes. And then next week, we're going to recap this Homestead weekend and look ahead to our final elimination race for Xfinity and Cup. It will also be our first race of the round of 8 for the Oreo Cup Series, as we will find out who will make it into the Final Four to compete for the championship at Phoenix Raceway, which, by the way, the elimination race will be after the NASCAR season will end. So, yeah, that's something we're definitely looking forward to. We will, like I said, we will be back next week. However, a date as far as that is concerned is yet to be determined, because I don't have my work schedule, as a matter of fact, and I will not... Oh, no, you picked Taylor, stay away from. But anyway, next week's date, as far as this show is concerned, is TBA. I will keep you up to date on my schedule. But other than that, we're looking forward to that reason so far. But looking forward to that next week. But as I said, we'll be on the air, as I said, whatever time and date that is scheduled. It may be next Monday, it may be next Tuesday, I don't know. Like I said, it depends on schedule. So we will just have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. That is a look at this week's upcoming Triple P athletic events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, as Taylor got hit with a frying pan by Sean. That's a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA athletic events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA and OU Athletics. Visit kimkcoach.com for more details. As I said at the top of the show, condolences to my buddy Jarrett Underhill, who's going to make his predictions. And then we will hopefully look forward to seeing you guys next week. Also, if you want to hear more about the penalty situation, go ahead and follow my Spoon account. The link will be down in the description when this video gets updated in that. Special thank you to our Triple B panelists, even though they weren't able to join me. They are Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, Hill England, Sean Art, Great Lakes, and all of our friends. Our statistician, Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer, Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Ting, Alex Hawkins, Dennis Kelly, Tom Shores, Greg Rutz, Crystal Fontaine, Nathan Orman running the show for us back in our PCSRA Network studios. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud sponsor of OU and Triple P Athletics and wants to remind you that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com to learn more. Final score one final time in Norman on homecoming day. Great bounce back after losing 3 straight games in a row. It was OU 52 and Kansas 42. And Greg gets another loss for this season. Until next week, whatever day and whatever time I do this show and all that yada yada yada, this is Daniel Vold saying Sooners win and Boomer Sooner, everybody. See you next week.
This Triple P broadcast has been brought to you by Newcastle Casino Chickasaw, Love's Travel Stops, Subway, by the Oklahoman, Buffalo Wild Wings, Newcastle Casino.